Hi, my name is Peggy, and this is my channel, Bespoke Ability Sewing. It's my third episode, and it is another episode of Hashtag Friday Sews. This was started by Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room as a way to bring the sewing community together and talk a little bit about what we've made, what we hope to make, and a little about life. Well, like I say, this is my third episode, and I have been absent for a couple weeks because I had COVID. And I didn't want to have COVID, but I did. I've been vaccinated, I've had all the boosters, and I've been very careful, but apparently not careful enough because I got it. I have no idea how, and at this point it's moot. The fact is, I had it. Not only did I have it, but my daughter had it, my grandson, my son-in-law. The only person in our little family who didn't get it was my son-in-law's mother, who's older than the rest of us, and she must have an iron constitution and a lot of good luck, but thankfully she didn't get sick. The rest of us did, and that's why I haven't been here. I was in no condition to operate heavy machinery. I couldn't even make it up the stairs. So, at any rate, I'm back now. I'm feeling great. My voice is still a little scratchy, but other than that, I feel great. And I'm just happy to be back doing things again. So, during the time I was sick, I did not sew at all. I just didn't have the energy. But in the last week or so, I have done some sewing. I made a pair of navy linen pants. The legs are great, but the crotch and the waistband I screwed up. I'd like to blame COVID for that. I'm hoping I can salvage them, but for right now, they're in timeout. And then I made, let's see, I made the Love Notions Melody Dolman as a muslin, and I don't like it. It's just not for me. And I kind of thought it wouldn't be, but I wanted to try it, and I don't like it. Nothing wrong with the pattern, but it just isn't for me. And then I muslined a pair of shorts for my daughter, and I used New Look 6737. Here they are, and they're fine, but I don't have them. And I have cut out a muslin of the Cashmere at Concord t-shirt, but I haven't made that yet. So I don't have much to show you, if anything, except I do have some fabric. I should just mention, my hair is pulled back because while I was sick, I had hoped to get, well, before I knew I was sick, I had hoped to get a haircut, but that plan had to be put on the back burner. Any rate, so I've made a few things, and I also muslined the Pietra pants from Closet Core Patterns. I have some plans I want to do with that pattern. Now, for whatever reason, I made a size 14, and my measurements put me in either a 10 or a 12. So why I did a 14, I have no idea. I'd like to blame COVID. Why not? So they were huge on me, but they were still short in the crotch and in the leg. So, but that's normal for me. I usually have to add length at those two places. So I have printed out the size 12, which might also be too big, but we'll see. But I still have to tape that one together. So I haven't made the muslin for that yet, and I hope to do that this week. Excuse me, I need a drink. My throat is really dry, so please excuse me for taking the occasional sip. So the other thing that I have cut out as a muslin but haven't made is the Cashmere Concord. And it's a t-shirt pattern. And not too long ago, they expanded their size range. So they specialize in patterns for large busted women, multi-cup sizes. And, but they started, I think they started at a size 14. I think. But then they expanded their size range to include more smaller sizes. I'm not sure how low they go, but it's great because a lot of independent pattern makers, if they do cup sizes, they start a larger cup size with the larger size patterns, and some of us need a smaller pattern. At any rate, I immediately bought this pattern and I hope to make it work for me. So I've just cut it out of some jersey that I have a lot of, and if it works, great, and if it doesn't, that's fine too. I've got, I made, well, the Cashmere website has a calculator on it to figure out what size you need. So you plug in all your measurements and then it tells you what size you should make, and that's what I did. And it said I should make a size 8 with a GH cup and an FBA. Now, it's also a very fitted top, and I don't like anything too close fitting. I just want something to sort of skim over my curves. So I decided for my muslin, and this might be a mistake, but it might work out. I cut out the size 10 with a GH cup. I didn't do an FBA, and I haven't made it yet, so I don't know, but hopefully this will fit me well in the body. I suspect that the view I cut out is probably a little too low-necked for me, and I suspect that the long sleeve is too short, but those aren't insurmountable. I can easily change those things. I just want to make sure that the body fits well, and if it does, then I have some plans. So, oh, the other thing I have cut out is a dress for my daughter. This is the fabric I'm using. It is a Telio cotton poplin, and it has pink and red and lavender and yellow flowers with green leaves on a light ivory background. And the pattern I'm going to use is this one. It's Easy Stitch and Save 7757. I think it is from 1995, and I'm sure that's when I bought it. Any rate, a couple weeks ago, Today in Jen's Sewing Room had a review of this pattern, and she made it sleeveless, and I thought it was very cute. And then I thought, that pattern looks familiar. So I looked in my stash, and sure enough, I had it. And I've never used it. So I thought, well, it's a sign. I need to use this. So I thought either my daughter or I would like this pattern. So I'm going to make it for my daughter, probably somewhere between these two lengths. She's 6 feet tall, so this is probably way too short. But this one looks awfully long, so I'll have her try it on and determine where it should be. I'm going to make it sleeveless. I've cut it out that way, and I've cut out from this fabric. I have also cut out some seam tape to do, a bias seam tape to do around the arm size, and then it has a facing at the neck. It doesn't have any closures. It has princess seams in the front and in the back. So it should be very easy, very straightforward. And I'm looking forward to getting that done. And then if that dress works out, I want to make it in this fabric. So it's a double gauze that I got in a So Haley Jane box a couple months ago. It's pale pink with these slices of watermelon, and I think it's really cute. Now, I have made lots of things out of gauze, a single gauze, but I have never made anything out of a double gauze. And I was a little concerned what to do, because often when I make a dress, I line it, or at least the bodice. But I didn't want to do that with double gauze because it's 2 thin layers of fabric that are invisibly sewn together. So if I were to line it in the same fabric, that would be 4 layers of fabric. And if I used a batiste for the lining, that would be 3 layers. So I didn't want to do that. But then I thought, this pattern should be perfect because I'm using binding seam tape at the arms and it has a facing. So if I did the bias tape and the facing out of a batiste, I think that would be nice and lightweight, and I think it would work well. So if this first version in the cotton poplin works, then I think I will use the double gauze, and I'm really excited about that. And then I thought I'd like to make a pair of wide leg cropped pants for me. I don't know, either in Simplicity 8841, which I've made this version before, or in the Closet Core Pietras, but I have to successfully make a muslin of those first. I have this fabric that I got probably about a year ago. It's, I think it's the Brussels washer linen. It's Robert Kaufman, and it is linen and rayon, and I have enough of it to make either of these patterns. This color is called Palm, and I like it. So I think that would make a great pair of pants. And then to go with it, I have another Robert Kaufman fabric, just coincidentally, that I bought last summer at Hearts Fabrics in Santa Cruz, California. It's a multicolored stripe, and it's a cotton spandex jersey. And this green, one of these greens here, goes well with the green of the pants. Of course, there are lots of colors in it, so I could wear this with a lot of different things. Now, once I have perfected the fit of the Concord, I would like to make that hip length with a 3/4 length sleeve, and I'll draw on a boat neck and do a facing. But I need to perfect that one first. And I have one other fabric that I'd like to use, and that is this one. It's an ITY, and I just like the colors in it, and I think it will work fine with this green. And for this, I want to use the Itch to Stitch Tustin dress, but as a top, and I'll put up a picture. I think those would be really cute. Well, so as I told you, I had COVID and I wasn't able to sew very much, but I was still able to do some shopping online. Now, the first thing I got was actually in my Think Pink subscription box, and it's a cotton lawn from Lady McElroy, or McElroy, I'm not sure how to say that. It's black background with lemons on it, and I think it's called The Brighter Side of Life. It's a very nice quality, and I like it. Now, black isn't a great color on me, but my thought is to make a top that has a yoke, and I'd make the yoke out of white piqué and probably put some piping around it, maybe in yellow. If it calls for buttons, I would do yellow buttons. I don't know what pattern, but I think this could be fun. And then I was sitting on the couch one day moping, trying to recover from COVID, and I was thinking about fabric, as one does. And I was thinking about that fabric that got away. I don't know if you ever do this, but sometimes I'll see a fabric that I really like, but I don't get it, and then I regret it. Well, I was in this position. I had seen a fabric that I loved. I hadn't seen it in person. I saw it online. I just loved this fabric, but I didn't get it. So Guthrie Ghani is a fabric store in Birmingham, England. I've never been there. I've never been to Birmingham. I've been through Birmingham, but I've never been there. And I've never bought anything from Guthrie Ghani either, but sometimes I watch their videos on YouTube. And they recently had their 10th year anniversary of having the shop. And in celebration, they commissioned some fabrics. And one of them, Lauren Guthrie, one of the owners, designed along with Rachel Parker. It's called Be Happy. Actually, it's Be Happy something. And it's in a viscose challis. It's on a viscose challis base, but comes in 3 different colorways. I really liked it. I thought it was so pretty. And I also knew they had said they were just making a limited amount, and once it was gone, it was gone. They weren't going to reorder it. So that's what I was moping about. Besides having COVID, I was moping that I didn't get this fabric. And then I thought, well, I should just see how much it costs to have fabric shipped from Birmingham, England to the Western United States where I live. And I thought, well, I could go on the website, see if they even still have this fabric. So I went on and they did have it. So at that point, I didn't really care how much it was going to cost, but I checked, and yes, it was costly to send it, but I really liked the fabric and I knew I'd be upset if I didn't get it. So it came in 3 colorways, or three backgrounds. The first background was cream, and I knew that wouldn't work for me. It tends to wash me out. But the other 2 colorways I liked a lot, teal or navy. So then it was a matter of, well, which one do I get? Now, you may guess where I went with this, but that's right, I bought both. Because I thought, why not? Also, I didn't know how much to get because I didn't have any specific patterns in mind. And knowing that I probably couldn't get more of it and that it was going to cost a bit to send it anyway, I wanted to make sure I bought enough fabric. So I bought 4 meters of each, the blue, or both of the blue and the teal, and put those in my cart. And then I thought, well, I'm paying for shipping anyway. I wonder if there's anything else that I haven't seen in the US that I'd like to add to my order. Well, there was. There were a lot more things, but I only bought 1 other piece. And it's not that unusual or exotic, it's just I thought it was cute and I hadn't seen this specific fabric or colorway. So it's another viscose challis, and it is red with white daisies that have little yellow centers. Now I've seen lots of fabrics, and I have a lot of fabric that has white daisies on it, but not on a red background and not on a viscose. So I thought, I'm going to go for it. When I looked at it online, I thought it was quite a blue-red, which is better for me, better for my daughter. When I got it, it's not quite that blue, but I think it's cute. And I have this earmarked to make a dress for my daughter. So I'm really pleased with it. It's a nice quality, and I think it'll be great. Now let me show you the challis. Oh, the other thing is, so I did my order with the 3 fabrics. They ship to the United States with FedEx. I don't know if that's what they do for the rest of the world or not. Anyway, I got it in 3 days. So I ordered it, I think on a Sunday, and I had it on Wednesday. I was shocked, but great. So that was worth quite a bit of money. So here is the teal colorway. Isn't it pretty? See all those flowers? There are bees on there and stuff, and it's on a nice teal background. And then here is the navy colorway. And I think it's really pretty too. I think it's a little more vibrant. I don't know what I'm going to make from them, but my thought was with 4 meters, I can make most patterns that I have. I have some that will take more, but I think it will work. But now I've sort of changed my mind. My thought at first was to make a dress for me out of the teal and a dress for my daughter out of the navy. But now I think I'll make 2 blouses from both colors, one for her, one for me, different blouses. And I just think that'll be fun. So then I was watching a video on YouTube with Lauren Guthrie of Guthrie Ghani, and she showed a bunch of models from her shop that had this fabric that I just showed you in various interpretations. I think they were all interpretations of the NYX Dress and Top by Closet Core, and they looked fantastic. And she was wearing one too. The fabric was just so pretty and then so flowy. It just looked beautiful. Now, when this pattern came out, I just thought, you know, it's cute, but it's not for me. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's just not for me. And so I didn't buy it. But then I saw her wearing it and I saw the examples and I thought, well, it looks great. I should go give that pattern another look. So I went onto the Closet Core website and looked at the NYX, and it's not for me. It's maybe just a little too flowy and a little too baggy. It also has a very low neck. Like on Lauren, you could see her cleavage, and I've had a mastectomy, so I've chosen not to have reconstruction. I have cleavage on one side and nothing on the other. And I also wear a prosthetic. So if I have a really low neck, you can see my odd cleavage situation and the top of my prosthetic. And I'm not ashamed of either of these things. I just don't feel like showing them off. So I knew, yes, I could amend this pattern, but I thought, why pay the money for something when I have other things that will do? And then I remembered a top that I made for my daughter back in 2019. It was out of print then, so I'm sure it's out of print now, but it's this, which is McCall's 6793. And I made her the version in aqua that the model is wearing, but I made it sleeveless. And I'll put up a picture of her wearing it in a minute. At any rate, I thought this had a similar vibe to the NYX. But the neck is a little higher. I already have it. So I'd like to make this same version, but with the 3/4 length sleeve with a band. And I think that would be really pretty. And then to go with that, I thought, well, if I have a baggy-ish top, I want a slender pant. And I thought, maybe I'll do the Simplicity 1559, which I still need to muslin the pants of that. And then I have this pink denim that I got from Beyond the Pink Door. It's sort of a dusty pink, but it goes with one of the pinks in this fabric. Let's see if I can find it. There's several different pinks. Well, this pink right here is very similar to this. And I think that would be a cute silhouette. I have the fabrics, so I'd like to do that. Then what else do I have going on? I think that's about it. I will probably be back sooner rather than later because I am expecting 2 deliveries, Happy Mail. One is my So Haley Jane luxury box that should be here any day. And the other is a fabric haul from Stone Mountain and Daughter. Stone Mountain and Daughter is about 3.5 hours from me. It is in Berkeley, California. And when I lived in San Francisco or that area, I used to go there frequently. Now I order mostly online. And although I just showed you fabrics from Guthrie Ghani, and a couple weeks ago I showed you some fabric I got from Amazon, I haven't been buying much fabric. I've been trying not to buy much fabric because I have a lot in my stash, and so I'm trying to sew it down. Well, I bought quite a bit of fabric, and it should be here any day. So I'd like to come back probably before next Friday and do a fabric haul, and then hopefully do my luxury unboxing whenever I get it. I'm really excited. Oh, I should mention, I am wearing New Look 6458 out of an ITY knit, and I made this in 2019. I don't remember where I got this knit, but probably either Fabric Mart or fabric.com. The last time I went to England and Scotland, I made a capsule wardrobe. Now, I usually don't wear a capsule wardrobe except when I'm traveling on an airplane, because then I just like to bring a carry-on usually, and a capsule wardrobe is pretty efficient that way. So I made 2 pairs of black Ponte slacks, slender slacks, and then I made, I think I made 7 of these New Look 6458s. And this was one of them. They all have some little bit of black in them to sort of tie in with the pants. And that was a great wardrobe. And they served me well on my trip. So we were in Bath, in London, well, Bath, and then Scotland, and then Yorkshire, and then London. And in Bath, it was hot. In Scotland, it was freezing. I wound up buying some mittens in Scotland because I was so cold. And then in Yorkshire, it was pouring with rain. It was still beautiful. And in London, it was boiling hot. So we had a little bit of everything. But it was a fun trip, and it was great to have pieces in my wardrobe that all coordinated. And yeah, it was great. We were there for a couple weeks. So that's what I'm wearing today, one of those tops. I like it. And that's about all that's going on. I told you my Uggy Life segment, which was COVID. Other than that, I'm not doing too much. I'm isolating and waiting to have negative COVID tests, but not yet. And I am seeing my daughter and my grandson and my son-in-law. And I'm seeing my son-in-law's mother. And I'm exercising. But other than that, I'm not really going anyplace. I don't want to run the risk of giving this to anybody else. But I am on the mend, and I hope to be out and about soon. At any rate, it's great to be back with you today, and thank you so much for joining me. I hope you'll consider hitting the like button, and if you're not a subscriber, I hope you'll consider subscribing. It doesn't cost a thing. And if you want to leave a comment, please do so below. Let's start a conversation. I will try to link everything I've talked about. Maybe not all of the fabrics if I can't find them, but if I can, I will link them. And I will link people I've talked about too. I don't think I've talked about that many people, but at any rate, I will double check. So thanks again for joining me. I really appreciate it, and I will see you next time. Bye.